Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Have you ever heard it said that cast iron was the original non-stick pan? Most people don't truly experience the non-stick qualities of cast iron because they don't know how to restore, care for, or clean their cast iron pan. Well, today I'm going to show you how I transformed this rusty cast iron skillet that is years old, and I'm going to make it truly non-stick. So non-stick that you can slide an egg off of it. And the best part is that we're not going to be using any power tools, nothing complicated, and I got a little trick up my sleeve for busting through that rust. So for starters, I'm taking some baking soda. Common household baking soda, y'all, and I'm going to pour about 3/4 of a cup to a cup in a bowl. Then I'm going to combine it with a little bit of water until I make a paste. Now, honey, don't go and say, I'm going to mix some vinegar in this. No. Okay, you're going to have a mess on your hands. All right, just use some water to make a paste. Then I'm going to pour it into my skillet. This is the first thing I'm going to add so that it starts to react with the rust. Now this will also help to remove any of the seasoning that has already been on this pan, that's really stuck on. But as you can see, even as I begin to wipe initially, the rust is already wanting to start coming up. I'm going to be using a few paper towels put together just to really get in there and to start scrubbing. Now, I only have gloves on because I want to protect my nails, but definitely there's nothing dangerous about rubbing the baking soda without a glove, okay? So I'm also going to be rubbing it on the back side, and you definitely want to make sure you do not forget the sides and the edges of the pan for everything that we do. Those are common places that people forget to, scrub, and they end up getting an uneven coating for their seasoning. So a little backstory on how I got this pan. My dad bought this cast iron skillet as a part of a set that had a Dutch oven in it a couple of years ago from a pawn shop. The Dutch oven was also pretty rusty, and he asked me if I would restore it for him. Now, being the good daughter that I am, I waited 3 years to get around to this project, but it is better late than never, okay? Now, what I loved about this set, though, is that it was super high quality. So you will see in the end that this is actually a really good skillet. Now, guys, I let the baking soda sit on for about 15 minutes, and then I went in with some vinegar. This is going to react with the baking soda, and it's not only going to help remove it, but it's also going to help to bust through that rust. Now, typically, vinegar and things that are very acidic are the enemy when you are seasoning a cast iron skillet. But right now we are trying to get off that seasoning. So vinegar and acidic solutions are the perfect thing to assist us with that process. And you can tell by the color of the liquid that is in the skillet that a lot of the rust has already been taken off by the baking soda, and then lastly with the vinegar. Now, guys, you are going to still see a little bit of rust on there, but I have another technique that's really going to bust through the rest, okay? So I'm going to give this a good rinse with some warm water, and then I'm going to take a little cast iron scrubby. Okay, and I'm going to link this in my Amazon shop if you're interested in this. And I'm just going to go over the pan with some soap, like some Dawn dish soap, and this scrubby. If you don't have this scrubby, don't worry. Use steel wool, and you'll see me use steel wool a bit later. Now, I know a lot of people freak out when they see soap and cast iron, because you've heard your grandmama and your great-grandmama all tell you that you should never use soap on your cast iron skillet because it's going to lift your seasoning. Well, you have to remember that the soaps back in the day were made with lye. They were very strong, and lye does lift the seasoning on a skillet. However, the soap these days isn't even truly soap. It's made with surfactants, which are surface active agents, and they are so much more gentle. I mean, y'all, this Dawn dish soap, we can wash our hands with it. It's not stripping like it used to be back in the day. So don't worry about it. Now, once I dry off the skillet as much as I can with a towel, I'm going to use salt and a potato. Yes, y'all, a potato. Okay, and there is a good reason for this. Potatoes release a chemical called oxalic acid. When it mixes with the salt as you scrub, it is going to start dissolving the rust. This is a very old school method of getting rust off of a cast iron skillet. The potato not only helps remove the rust, but it also acts as a holder for that kosher salt that is doing the physical exfoliation and removing of the rust and the seasoning. Now, if you have the scrubby, I do like to go in after I have thoroughly scrubbed with the potato with a cast iron scrubber. This is just to give another level of physical exfoliation, and then I will go in with the potato on the back. Now, the reason why I do the potato first is because it's already going to have that oxalic acid all over the surface of the cast iron skillet to help remove the rust, and then I just like to go in with the scrubber just to, as a reinforcement, just to make sure everything is gone. However, I have done this just with the potato and no scrubber, and it works as well. So if you don't have this scrubber and you don't want to go and get it, then just, you're just going to be working a little bit longer with that potato and that salt. Hey y'all, if y'all just learned something new, if you didn't know about that potato hack, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, and go ahead and put a potato emoji down in the comments, y'all. Or maybe you're an OG in this and you already knew this hack. Go ahead and tell me who taught you in the comments. Now guys, I'm going to take some steel wool, a little bit more Dawn dish soap, and I'm going to aggressively scrub the surface of the pan. My goal here is to make sure any rust, any seasoning left behind, I remove it. I make sure that I go in hard on the edges and the sides of the pan because, like I said, those are places we often forget. But I am trying to do a new seasoning on this pan so I get everywhere, including the handle. Then I'm going to rinse it off. Now, you could technically stop here. You actually will have most of it gone at this point, but I just like to be a little bit extra, and I like to go in and use that salt one more time. But I'm not going to go in quite as hard, so I'm going to go ahead and heat my oven to 200 degrees. That way, right after I am done rinsing the second time, I can immediately start fully drying off my skillet. Once you have removed the seasoning from your skillet, you have to work fast, or else you're going to get even more rust that's going to start developing. So just as a little tip, I would definitely suggest that the day you start removing the rust and the layers of old seasoning from your skillet, you have to start re-seasoning the pan that same day. Definitely do not break up the removal of the old seasoning and starting to re-season the pan into a 2-day process, or else you're basically going to be working backwards because you're going to remove that old seasoning and then the next day you're going to have even more rust, okay? So make sure you have enough time to do it all at once. This is the final rinse, and y'all, the workout portion of this tutorial is over. From henceforth, it's mostly going to be hands off. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and stick my skillet on an eye on low just to start getting off any places that are still moist. I know this looks dry, but the truth is that, it's not 100% dry. It is not dry enough to start putting on an oil layer. So once I let it warm up for about 2 or 3 minutes, I then stick it in my 200-degree oven for about 5 minutes. At that point, not only is the skillet dry, but it's warm enough to melt the oil so that I can put on my first coating. While I'm putting on that coating, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the oven to 500 degrees. It's going to be piping hot, so this is actually a reason why I like to season my skillets in the fall and winter, because it just makes your house really hot. Now, we're going old school with this, baby. We're going to be using some Crisco. If you have lard, that works really well, but I don't have any lard today. So Crisco or canola oil or vegetable oil, those are all great picks. Now, I know people say you can use flaxseed oil to do this, but for $15 for 8 ounces, frankly, that's doing too much. Okay, especially for a cast iron skillet. Now, y'all, I'm going to wipe a thin layer over the whole skillet. I added a decent amount at first, and then I like to go in with a paper towel and just remove any that is dripping, like any excess. But the whole skillet needs to be coated from the handle to the edges. It needs to have a nice even layer. I'm going to place my skillet in upside down, and I put a baking sheet at the bottom. If there's any drips, it will catch it. and then I'm going to let this skillet go for 30 minutes. You will see smoke. That is okay. The oil has to get past its smoke point, so that is totally normal. After 30 minutes, I let the skillet sit in the oven for 30 more minutes with the oven off. Then I ended up just letting my skillet sit 20 more minutes. You don't have to do this. That's why I'm able to handle it. And then I put on another layer of oil. In total, I am going to be doing 4 layers of seasoning. 3 is fine. I did 4 just because I had the time and I wanted to make sure that my coating was going to be solid. Once I put every oil layer on, I put it back in the oven for 30 minutes on 500. I cut the oven off. Let it sit in the oven with the oven off for 30 more minutes. Add another layer of oil and then repeat. Now you can technically do this process as many times as you want, but after 4 times, mine was shiny. It was looking new. It had a great solid coating on it, so I just stopped at 4 coatings. Now for those of y'all haters that doubted me and you didn't think this skillet was going to be truly non-stick, I'm going to prove you wrong right here. I'm going to show you that it is actually truly non-stick. I'm going to let the egg cook until it has a little sear around the rim. You'll see it kind of brown on the edge. And then all I need to use is a spatula just to break the seal between the cast iron and the egg. And you will see immediately that baby is slipping and sliding. Okay? If you would like to see the process of how I restore a fully cast iron Dutch oven or any other type of cookware, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if this video was helpful for you, if you learned something, if you're going to actually use this technique, and also let me know if you want to know how to do everyday care for a cast iron skillet. Y'all know I'm a Southern girl and I definitely know how to use a cast iron skillet and maintain it. So just let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to do the video for you. I'll see you next time at Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye and God bless.